Hi guys, welcome back to episode 11 of the GenZ Podcast with me, Danica Tamsin. So I've got two returning guests. It's like a family reunion today. I've got my sister Cyra.
Hi everyone.
And my brother Mark.
Hello everyone. I'm glad to be back.
Yes, welcome to the GenZ Podcast, guys. I wanted to talk about the Uber driver who got killed by two teenage girls. If you don't know what happened, in America, an Uber Eats driver was driving and two girls accidentally killed him with a taser, trying to steal the car. So what do you think the punishment should be for these kind of behaviours? Because the girls were only 13 and 15.
Let me start on this, Cyra.
Yeah, go on.
All right, I want to go back to a case that happened in England in about 92 or 3. I can't remember. Jamie Bolger. You must know about that case, Cyra.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That Jamie Bolger case, for me, was one of the most horrific cases the country's ever seen. And I remember I used to have nightmares about it because I couldn't believe that two young kids could want to hurt an innocent child like that. Now, those children were slapped on the wrist, basically. They've came back out, reoffended, came back out, got into trouble again. They haven't been rehabilitated, even though I don't think there's no rehabilitation for murder. But they've came back out and they're basically reoffended. So it's a very delicate topic, but I feel like the punishment should be the same across the board for man, woman, and child. If you're a child, yeah, and you have enough anger in your heart to kill someone, depending on the circumstances, if it was an accident, then I could probably say, all right, you can probably lessen the sentence if it was an accident, or cases of abuse, like that girl, I forgot her name, where like someone's abusing someone and they lash out. That's different. But if you actively go out to murder somebody, I feel like they should get the same punishment as a grown man.
Mark, you know, if you looked into Jamie Bolger's case properly,
yeah,
them kids, they were abused. They were, the parents used to give them cannabis to help them sleep at night. Remember, they were only 10. They was playing really graphic video games, watching Bride of Chucky, having beatings and all that kind of thing. So hurt people. Yeah. So if a 10-year-old child has been through the ringer, obviously they need to be punished. But if they've been through the ringer, you've got to have a bit of sympathy. Like if you've come from a good home where you've been treated well, then obviously, and you do that out of the blue, then it is what it is. But when you've been, and I suspect that them girls, if you're 13 doing carjackings, 13, imagine what they've been through. And I'm not saying that's like an excuse, but I'm saying when you're a child and your brain's still developing and you've been through all of that, you have to give them a little bit of leeway in terms of, we don't know what they've been through. They still need to be punished, but there needs to be an investigation into who's their parents. Yeah. Why do they think it's okay? Imagine me at 13 carjacking a big man.
Yeah, but let me quickly, Danica, before Kyra comes back. What I'm saying is that if we stay on the Jamie Bolger topic for a minute, they killed a 3-year-old boy, man. Took him from his mom, raped him,
I don't even like
put batteries in his bottom, and a train. They killed him before the train. They killed him and then put his body on the tracks for the train to run over it. So it looked like that's what happened. Now, what I'm saying is, I understand they come from a bad home. I understand that. But I'm more looking at what they've done. That family will never be the same. Yeah. Because I'm telling you the truth. They say that God don't give you more than you can handle, but me, I can't live after that. If you do that to my child, I can't live. Yeah. I can't live because that's my legacy. So if you do that to my child, you're gonna turn me into a very vicious person because I know I can't live, I can't work and get married and have more children. I can't do it.
Face is like the world with a smile on your face.
I can't do it. So in my head, what's the knock-on effect for them to getting away with that? Let's go back to the girls in America. The knock-on effect, if they get a light sentence, there's a knock-on effect because that Uber driver would have a son, a brother, a mom, a dad, a cousin, who's going to say, hold on, there's been no punishment, so you're creating monsters as well.
Do you know what, though? I think that there should be some form of punishment for the parents as well.
No, they didn't do anything. Oh, no, for what we know.
If you socialise a murderer, if you have really grown a murderer, there should be some accountability on your side as well.
What about if you grow a drug dealer? They're causing havoc. Do the parents deserve time in prison?
A murderer. Somebody,
just murder. What about rapist?
No, but if a child,
unless the mom's there with them murdering, then they don't deserve time.
No, I'm not saying they deserve, but they definitely deserve more sort of looking into, and some form of slap on the wrist as well. Because what circumstance should a 13-year-old be in to commit a carjacking?
Yeah.
And do you know what? I think it is important to highlight that they didn't go out there aiming to kill a man. It was a carjacking gone wrong. A taser wouldn't kill. Like, a taser's not made to kill, but it's got potential to kill. So they've weighed up the risks. Like, is this an okay thing to do? So the fact that they even thought it was okay, the adult in their life, some investigation needs to be looked into.
Yeah, there should be investigated, like, what was their life like for them. But unless the mum was there carjacking with them, she can't get a sentence because she didn't actually commit a crime.
Children don't act on their own.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you get into crime, and robberies and stuff, you have to know that can go like a few different ways. Somebody can resist. People very rarely think about that. If you're going to rob a man, 9 times out of 10, most people are going to just give you.
Yeah.
But you will have people that resist. Like, so a man might say, "You ain't robbing me. What's going on? Are you going to take it to the next level?" Like, we said it on a podcast before, on one of our shows before, that we ain't no master swordsmen or nothing. That's why knife crime is the way it is. A man thinks you can stab a man and you puncture an artery or something, then the man bleeds out. So even though they didn't go to do that, it shows you that, once you get involved with crime, it can go anyway. It can go anyway. Someone can die, you can get caught, anything can happen. That you have to know that. So the way I look at it is that I'm saying no sympathy for them kids, yeah? Throw the book at them. And it's America, they will throw the book at them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they don't deserve a light sentence and they don't deserve absolutely not to get off, but they definitely need an age-appropriate sentence. In America, life actually is life. Life is like 100 years, 200 years without the possibility of parole. In England, I think life's like 30 years, 25, 30 years. They should be getting 25, 30 years. So if she's 15 now, she'll come out when she's 40. She can still probably have a child and she would have had plenty of time to think about it. But you can't lock up someone from 15 till they die. That's just not... I don't think that's right, because the reason why that happened is because they're kids. If an adult had committed that same carjacking, obviously if it wasn't if an adult had committed that carjacking, they would have said, right, let's not drive off where he's hanging out the window. If all I want is this car, an adult wouldn't have driven off. But the reason why it went down how it was is because their brains aren't developed and they're still children. So they deserve a punishment, and a good punishment as well, but not 250 years without the possibility of parole or death or anything like that.
It has to be something that sends... This is a very delicate situation, because you have to send a message to other would-be killers.
Yeah.
Who now know if another 13-year-old thinks about killing someone, they have to look and say the punishment is that harsh that it makes them think twice. If these girls are going to do 10 years and come out, it don't make sense.
But Mark, remember, they're not like Jamie Bolger's killers. They didn't want to kill the guy. It's still horrible. Like, I'm not justifying it. Yeah. But Jamie Bolger's killers, they actually went out, found the boy and systematically abused him and tortured him. That's a different level of, you're an idiot little girl, you've made the worst decision to try and rob someone. All they wanted was the car to probably go and do donuts around some car park. I don't think they went into it wanting to murder him and cause that much trouble.
But they did. So the fact that they did murder the boy, the man, you got to get punished. Now, I'm not saying, I agree with you, I'm not saying 200 years or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be the 13. They shouldn't see back the road till they're 40 odd.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
I think they need like a sizable amount of time, but they need enough time so they can still have somewhat of a life. Like, I think 30 years would probably be about right.
Well, you ever watch Heavenly Creatures?
No.
All right. There's a film called Heavenly Creatures, True story, happened right here in Britain again. It's about 2 girls who, they were that close, like best friends / almost like lovers, and the mom was gonna move away for a job, and they didn't want to split up, so they ended up plotting to kill the mom, and they killed the mom in the most vicious way. You can Google the case. They took a brick and battered her head in, the mom, and the mom died, and one of them's out now and she's like a top author. And every time I see her on TV and stuff, I'm like, imagine you've killed someone and you're able to live your life and be successful.
Yeah.
See what I mean? And there was rumours that she was one of the investors in Bragg's, allegedly. Bragg's.
I don't know what Bragg's is.
All right, you're not old enough. You know what that is. They were one of the investors in Bragg's. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were one of the investors in Bragg's. You see what I'm saying? So after that, that's why Bragg's changed to what it is today. But I'm not going to tell you.
What is it today?
You lot can go and do your research.
No, but I want to know.
It's
now.
the GenZ podcast. I'm giving you like work to do. See what I'm saying? So with that, but like Anthony just said, you know, that man can't come back after 30 years.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
See what I mean?
That's true.
So what you saying about
That's
that?
true.
But with children, I feel like children are just like they're born pure. This is the way I see it. So up until the age of even 20, probably about 21. No, I think right up until that age, it's kind of like somebody else's responsibility.
Yeah.
Like for their bad decision making.
I think if I think about it for myself, like if it was me, if somebody killed me on accident, them girls didn't mean to kill the man. And it was still horrible how it went down. And what they're meant to do was still bad as well, but they didn't mean to kill him. So when you commit a murder, you have to have, they call it like a mens rea. You have to want to murder someone before it's a murder. And that's not what they've done. If somebody killed me by accident, I if this ever happens in the future, I hope it doesn't.
God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid, touch wood, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If that ever happened, I don't want like everyone out for blood, ruining this person's life. If it was an accident, if someone done me like,
gonna happen. No.
But if someone done me like Sarah Everard, yes, do whatever, do all these campaigns. But if someone genuinely like knocked me over and it was a genuine mistake, I don't want everyone being like,
no, but you
bring
just
them
said
down.
knocked over. You just said
Yeah.
that's different. If someone knocks you over on accident,
Yeah.
But if someone went to rob you, now remember this man's probably a father. You know, he's an Uber driver, so I doubt he's making that much money. He's a man who's obviously an honest man, looks like. Nah, man, you got to throw the book at them.
Exactly.
I'm not saying their life should be over, but it has to be severe enough that would-be murderers think twice.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, because a decision was made, and I feel like that's where the punishment lies. Like, I know it was just like, yeah, it was just one bad decision, but their decision was to take on those risks.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like they should be treated accordingly. But 13 is so young. It's just... I know I shouldn't feel sorry for these girls, I know, but there's a little side of me that's like, you see, one stupid decision has ruined their lives, because we've all made bad decisions when you've children.
Not like that.
No, but somebody could say to you when you was a child, like, come, let's rob this man's phone, or like, there was a joke where, when I was younger, people used to step in front of old people to scare them. So do you know when somebody's walking, just step in front of them to throw them off? Now, it was stupid, it's a bad decision, but say if the old person had a heart attack and then died on the floor, like... Am I meant to hold that responsibility? I was a child. Carjackings is a lot more popular than you think, and it's a lot of young people who commit carjackings as well. So I don't think they anticipated for it to go that badly.
Yeah, but that, again, I'm not saying they anticipated for it to go that bad. What I'm saying is that who cares what they anticipated? I'm on the side of the man who was just working and got killed.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I'm not saying... Obviously, it is sad for them girls. Like, they weren't probably doing that, but their far self killed a man. So now it's just harsh punishment. And remember, in some countries, you know, they'd have been killed before they even got to court.
Yeah.
Like, people don't like talking about that. If that was like Brazil or somewhere like that, them kids, the parents would have had to bring them to the police. It's only like places like America and England where we don't have, what's it called? Mob justice. There's a name for it where like there's like videos online. I don't like watching them, but like there might be like someone they'll say that man raped someone. He ain't going to court. He's not going to court.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold court in the streets for him.
But there needs to be an opportunity to discover what happened, because it's still an ongoing investigation in America. So even though it's quite clean cut that they were tased, they tased him and he died, our investigation needs to like, justice needs to be served. Killing somebody for doing a bad act, the truth will never be really unfolded? And what if you kill an innocent person?
See, for me, I feel so bad for that guy's family. When I read it, I literally was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. Because I just feel horrible for his family. Imagine hearing that. But there's always just been a soft spot in my heart for, like I said at the beginning, animals and children. When it comes to animals and children, I just can't help it. Like, I'm always just... Even, like, I can watch the most gruesome murder documentary on Netflix. Don't F with cats. Shook me up. Like, it genuinely did. I don't know what it is. When it comes to animals and kids, I can't do it.
I'll tell you what it is.
Because they're innocent. No. And that's why I just have a bit of sympathy for them, because they're kids and they're stupid.
I'm going to tell you what it is, Cyra, yeah, and Danica. People, serial killers like Sir Jack the Ripper, when he was a child, he would have been a man to harm animals and stuff. That's how serial killers are born. They start off by targeting the weak, and the weak are what? Animals. Yeah. Well, domestic animals and children. So usually these killers start with them. So, you know, which leads me to my next question to you, like, are killers made or groomed? Do you think them girls experience at home? Because there are just some kids, we all know them, who come from great parents, great backgrounds, mom, dad, good jobs, home, love, clothing, everything, but they still grow up and go the other way without the pet. Like, so there's a lot of parents. I know a guy in Handsworth, a big man still, big man, in his 50s, and his son's around like my age, and he was like, "Yo, I've done everything for this boy. I've done everything, like literally everything I've done for this boy." See what I mean? And he's like, he just wants to live that life. So sometimes I think parents of today's world only make up like 40% of the child's character. I think the schools, the friends, what's on TV, that they gotta choose. You see what I mean? Because like, with the household we grew up in, half the things what I was out doing, I knew I didn't have to do all that. I came from a great home. No, but what I'm saying is I came from a great home, let's be honest. So I'll be with friends who just be idling and doing stupidity. Luckily my head's on my shoulders where I got to an age and I'm like, I don't actually even need to be involved in none of this. Whereas other kids, you know, so we can't keep being too sympathetic, because them kids, their parents might actually be good parents.
But I think there is something to like children rebelling. So doing what your parents tell you, yeah, that's a good thing and right things to do. But like teenagers go through this age where it's like, yeah, but forget them. What they're doing is not cool. It's not what I want to be. So then they rebel and make silly decisions and live this life which they don't need to live. But I always get I don't have the answer for the nature versus nurture thing, because some people are just born wicked. Some people literally, you cannot do anything to change their heart. They're just a wicked person. But then others, the good people just in bad circumstances. And when I read the story with the girls, I couldn't tell you who they are. I don't know them. But like, I see children growing up in the wrong circumstances. Because what 13-year-old needs to carjack? No. Like, there's no reason for you to have to carjack when you were 13. And if you did...
They done it because... they were trying to make quick money. That's what it was. They were trying to make quick money. The guy resisted, which again, I think that as adults, we underestimate what people are liable to do. If someone's trying to rob me, I'm just giving them.
Yeah, I always say
so. What I mean, I don't need to play macho. I pay council tax. I pay tax. I'm not on that side of the fence. So if someone comes to do something to me, you can have it. Because it's not worth my life, and I don't want to gamble that a man tries to do something stupid. If it's a situation where I think, you know, I could probably take this guy, you know. Or
but you could have a knife, Mark.
He could have a knife, but I always look at, like, I gauge distance. I gauge, can I get out of there? Can I take him out? You see what I mean? I always look at that. There's been a few situations, you know, I've never been robbed like that, where a man's come up to me and robbed me. It's always, you know, it's always some skullduggery. However, with that man, God bless the dead, but I would have just gave him the car, mate. I'm not fighting.
13-year-olds, you'd give 13-year-old girls your car.
I ain't fighting.
The 13-year-old, because I wouldn't give a 13-year-old girl my car.
All right, so what I'm saying is, all right, it depends how they were coming at me. It depends how they were coming at me. If they had any kind of weapon.
But a taser, I'm not too like clued up on tasers because I know we don't use them heavy, but I wouldn't be that threatened by a taser. I'd be threatened by a gun, a knife, but I feel like I could like...
No, you couldn't take a taser in. I think it's like an electric shock. Yeah.
You know when cows...
But don't you just get shocked?
No, I think it's like
melt your
you're
skin.
on the floor and stuff.
People have heart attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a safer version for police to restrain.
No, it hurts.
No, I thought it's like, okay, take that all back.
So, what I was going to say is I never got a chance to answer the nature versus nurture thing.
Go on.
But I think that with the exception of psychopaths, so I think you do have just some psychopaths that are born, everyone else is nurture. And I say this because I've recently been researching county lines a lot. Like I'm really into like looking into county lines because it just fascinates me. Do you know there's like 13, 14-year-old kids that will travel up to Wales, Scotland, all these places with crack and heroin shoved up their bottom for some like thug, some local drug dealer or whatever. The thing is, those kids have been brainwashed. You know, hell would freeze over before I did that.
Hell.
No, but listen to this.
Do what you need to do.
Kyra, you know what
Do what you need to do.
No, I know about this stuff. It's very sad. That is more down to bad parenting because...
I don't know about that.
No, it is. Them county lines, a lot of it's bad parenting because how can my 13-year-old go to Wales without me knowing?
Circumstance?
No. How can my 13-year-old who lives under my roof go to Wales without me knowing? How's that possible?
Mark, imagine the coolest guy on the block comes to you, touch wood, it never happens. Comes to your...
You don't need to touch wood, it ain't happening to me. You don't even need to touch wood.
Comes to your 13-year-old in like a nice Nike tracksuit and Rolly and BM and all this kind of thing. And the 13-year-old's like, I want to be like you. So those grown men who know that what they're doing is wrong, they know that their life isn't good. They know that. They're encouraging younger people. If I was doing something wrong, I would never encourage someone younger to go down the wrong path. But there's a big pandemic where these older boys are poisoning the youth, not just boys, girls as well.
I think it's everybody.
That's the nurture part of it. The kids, they see that they're the dads. The older boys on the block or whatever, they're the kids' dads, because oftentimes, I know it sounds bad, but the dads aren't there. Well, so they're looking to these guys for guidance.
Let me jump in. I'm going to tell you the truth, yeah. It is nurture, the county lines thing, because you can become a slave to labels, and growing up, you have to know that labels are not everything. Like, you've got to explain to your children that I don't know how to do it. I'm still learning myself, but your children have to know that, look, today you can lose everything, but you can also gain everything.
Yeah.
That's a big once you get that understanding in life, you can go a lot further. You have to know that things can all go or things can all come. That's the first thing. Secondly, when I was growing up, there was no man on the block who could make me feel... No, the reason why I'm going to bring it to myself, because I remember when I got my first car, remember my red Polo?
Yeah.
I had that car, and to me, that was like a Mercedes, because I was just so happy it was mine and I was driving. But a lot of other kids wanted a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is, somewhere in between childhood and passing your driving test, they have been taught that, strive for a Mercedes, you need a Mercedes, whatever they've been watching or whatever they're into. And that's how those county line guys go for them children that are impressed by money, children that are impressed by labels. There's a lot of kids who ain't. Money don't frighten me, so with
they'll
me...
threaten them and stuff, Mark?
No.
That ain't true. How it happens, Kyra, is with county lines is they'll say like... There's like little tricks they do. So they'll say things like, can you go and bring this bag over there for me? I'll buy you a pack of chips or whatever. Man will walk over, then they'll set it up for the bag to get robbed.
Like in Top Boy?
No, Top Boy took that from the roads for real.
Yeah.
That's what happens on the road. Then when the bag gets robbed, the man will say, yo, that bag was worth $5,000, Don't worry though, you can pay me back. That's how it works. But
well, why do you think they don't tell an adult, like a teacher or a police officer or their parents?
Because sometimes the man in my day, the man that was, the bad man of the area, he had more influence.
Yeah.
So if you fell out with him, he could change your, he could change your experience growing up. If you fell out with that man, he could change your experience and make your experience a very uncomfortable one, to where now you're getting in fights. See what I mean? You're getting in fights, you're getting in pure passa for nothing. But nobody could have got me to take no drugs, and no one ain't making Harlem take drugs nowhere. I'm telling you that now, because whatever the man is not better than a father.
Nah.
See what I mean? Trust me. I guarantee you that.
I think it's the areas these people are growing up in, because...
What do you mean these people, Danica?
What people? The county lines people?
Go on, carry on.
Oh, is that good?
Just carry on.
Did you know? County lines isn't just about black people though.
Exactly. I'm saying like people who are like impressionable, like little kids. Yeah, I think it's mainly the area they grow up in, because it shouldn't be that you shouldn't be that local to like those type of people. I think you should try to take your children out of areas.
Yeah, but that's like, a bit. Come on, Danica.
What if
you can't afford it?
You need money. There's a lot of poverty. Yeah. Like, luckily, you can say that because you ain't been around that at all, actually. You definitely not. Matter of fact, both of you haven't.
I haven't.
Kyra more so than me. No,
you ain't been around.
No one could have never told me to do that.
Yeah, no,
never. I wouldn't want to do that. No matter how much money they offered me, I would never get. It's not only is it human trafficking, it's modern day slavery. Yeah. It's sexual assault a lot of the times, because they're getting them to. Imagine you teaching a 14-year-old to put something in his bottom.
I feel like everybody makes it sound like this big, like, oh, why would children do that? But if you're a 15-year-old child, your aspirations aren't like, oh, I want to do this great thing. It's kind of like, oh, I want to get this Gucci tracksuit. I want to get this Gucci cap. And all I have to do is catch a train to Liverpool. Like...
It's not that.
It's not that. Once they get to Liverpool, then they're in a crack house.
No, but the thing
chopping up heroin. It's not just catching a train to Liverpool.
I think everybody misses out that people don't like to work. And even though they're working, like going to these far places, technically it's easy money for children. Children can't, like, especially under 18, they ain't going to be making money to get these things that are like strive for. They're not.
But then you're making it their fault, but they're the innocent, they're the victims.
No, wait, both of you are wrong. Both of you are wrong.
Hold on, let me say this one.
Go on.
Just like how you were saying those Uber girls, the girls who robbed the Uber, I'm saying that they're victims as well. But I'm saying that children have a thought process that you do not have. So we can't speak on it as so like, oh, they're in such a tough situation. Children choose that.
Yeah, but the reason why they choose it is because they're children and their brains aren't developed.
Yeah.
So actually, the children, anyone under the age of 16 who gets coerced into doing county lines is completely innocent to me. The onus is on the adult in the situation, which is the man that encourages them to do it. They're completely in the wrong. You cannot, when it comes to under 16s, under 18s, then even I was, you was, Mark, I'm sure you was, you make bad decisions when you're young.
Yeah, you make bad decisions. However, what was my point now? With the county lines children, they're targeted. The people that are getting them to do that, they know what children to get. They know to go to children who, there's a lot of impressionable minds out there. And with drill music and stuff, when you watch the videos, these guys are having fun. They got money, they got watches, they got girls. So a man who's like 14, the pressure's on, because the girls ain't looking at no normal. When I was in school, if you weren't a DJ, a rapper, or something like that, you wasn't pulling no girls like that.
That needs to change, really.
No, it needs to change. But I'm saying, if you're watching the latest drill video, everyone's talking about trapping, trap. It's all like, it's advertisement for trapping. When you get the opportunity now to go out and actually do that and make money, they're going to do it, because a man might say, look, I'll pay you $1,000 to do that. He's thinking, you know how much trainers I can buy with that? I can buy a tracksuit. See what I mean? But then when he brings that home, the mom's meant to say, well, where you get money from to buy that? Yeah. Where you get money from? You know what I mean? But what's happening is the mom's now saying, oh, my son's making money, you know. That's what goes on. Because I've heard of instances where a man's bought a waterbed. You know them waterbeds where when you're buying a waterbed, you know, they have to send out a man to come and talk to you about it before you buy it. You know them like 3 gram waterbeds. And I remember,
I thought you meant like the little,
No, back in the day, waterbeds was a big thing when I was growing up. And I remember a boy bought a waterbed, like a top of the range waterbed. And his mom was bragging, saying, boy, he's bought a waterbed, you know, and yeah, man, he's doing well. And I'm saying, well, he's a kid. How did he get the money to buy a $3.5 grand waterbed? But you see, the mom was excited herself. Because a lot of black people from our community have never had nothing. So when their son's bringing in things like that, it's a big thing. Because remember, they're used to, a lot of people are working all around the clock and can't buy nothing. Yeah. So when the son's coming in now, they're saying, he's making money now. So a lot of them county lines, it's not all what you think, Cyra.
Yeah, but to be fair on the parents as well, just to put the other side of things, a lot of them are overworked, underpaid. A lot of the moms, not to be like mean to the men, but a lot of these moms are doing it by themselves. So probably they're at work while the son's running the streets because they've got to work, they've got to put food on the table. So some of them truthfully just can't manage their kids, they can't supervise their kids. If your mom's at home when you get home from school and you get told you need to be back here by 4 o'clock or whatever, you got someone to answer to. A lot of the kids haven't got anyone to answer to because not because their parents don't care, but because they're busy, they're out working, they're providing for the family. Daddy's not around, or often that's what happens because normally, do you know that video you showed me? That black woman, the African lady, and she lost her son. He went missing. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Why would someone want to do that to their mom? But the mom's just crying. And it literally just broke my heart.
No. Have they? But do you know what? I think with that situation in particular, because he's sick, a lot of people are saying that he's just gone to country lines. I don't know how to say it without saying it.
Country lines?
Is that what you
County lines, country lines, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he's actually choosing to go, but the guy's sick. He's got sickle cell. Like, it's dangerous him not being around. But I've got a horrible feeling that he really is in country.
But they can come back from this place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just sad. I just don't get why people would want to do that to their parents. And I think it's a really big issue. And I think that people need to take it as seriously as they took. This is child criminal exploitation. They need to take it as seriously as they took child sexual exploitation. Like, remember the grooming gangs in, where was it now? Rotherham. Rotherham. Yeah. Is that where it was? Rotherham. Rochdale, yeah.
Nah, it was Rotherham. You had it right the first time. Yeah.
There was some grooming gangs anywhere.
Rotherham.
I think it was all over the place.
Manchester. Greater Manchester.
The world erupted. Not the world. England erupted. There was protests and all this kind of stuff. County lines, I think it's just as big of a pandemic. Honestly, because that was sexual exploitation. This is people grooming kids for criminal gain.
But arguably, the argument is to be had, that the kids want the gain. Like, okay, with the sexual exploitation...
They were getting handbags and stuff. Did they not want that?
Did anybody watch 3 Girls?
I watched it.
Did you feel sorry for all of the 3 girls?
Yeah, I did.
Let's not get into the conversation.
Okay, move to the next topic.
Let's move on to the next topic. So, I wanted to talk about this whole new thing of the whole footage that's been coming out of all these couples arguing. So we had Saweetie and Quavo, the elevator footage. Then we had Notes and Aaliyah. What's her name? Leah.
Yeah, something like that.
I do know her name. But and then we had Chet Hanks and his girlfriend. What do you think about this new, do you think people are intruding on people's privacy, accessing
this kind of footage? The cases you spoke about, Notes, I seen that was someone who filmed him arguing. So that
let me break them all down because people might not know. So Saweetie and Quavo, they were fighting in an elevator. It's very unclear of the context, but you can see them scuffling. Then we have Notes and Aaliyah who are fighting over their child. They did. Somebody had videoed them, but Notes was happy that the video had been came out. And then Chet Hanks actually is the one who was recording the video of his girlfriend attacking him. So that's what all these videos
So let me deal with Chet Hanks first. Depending, if you're in a toxic relationship, the best advice I've got is get out of it anyway. Toxicness is something that you can't really reverse. However, there are people out there that will try to entrap you. So they'll try to, something might go on and they might say, might even beat me or something. If you're with a girl like that, yeah, you need to film a discrepancy. You need to film an altercation because that will just stop any lies from being told.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men who, you know, women lie, I used to beat me or I done this. Probably not even nothing like that never even happened. But that's why I think Chet Hanks, film it. Notes, there was nothing he could have done. You know, he was going to see his child. But with that situation, although you're speaking about filming, I would say that with Notes, you know, you got to be careful what you wish for. And if you want an IG baddie, that's what comes with it a lot of the times. She was married to Demba Ba. That Demba Ba was raising some 150 grand a week one time. Her lifestyle, he can't keep up. If I meet a woman and she says, I used to be married to Demba Ba, that's when I know there's no relationship because that's out of my price range. See what I mean? Demba Ba used to throw money around with her like it was nothing.
Just to interject quickly.
Go on.
With the Notes situation though, publicly, he's the one who's only been doing wrong. Like, she hasn't done nothing wrong besides from this video. He's cheated on her.
None of that matters.
I know, but you're acting as though, like, oh, he's the one who's the innocent one.
No. Danica, let me just tell you, you're younger. This is the Gen Z podcast. So I'm teaching you. It don't matter if the man's cheated. He's got a right to be a father. A father and a boyfriend is two different things. You could have 10 women. Your child is your responsibility, and she should not use his child against him.
Sorry, I don't even know about this one. Isn't this the one where he went to like a COVID, like he didn't want him to come back with COVID, or is that something else?
No, that's Fredo.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Another British rapper.
Carry on.
Let me just quickly finish what I put this on. It don't matter what he did. You know what I mean? He could have cheated. He could have, you know, whatever he did. It don't have nothing to do with him being a dad. So I mean, and when I was listening to the girl and she's like, take me to court. And I'm like, wow. And remember, the fact that you've got an American girl pregnant, it's game over for him anyway. Because the American judicial system, you got zero chance, mate. You're gonna throw thousands of her, and your money's not Demba Ba money. Them kind of women, if she knew that, what Demba Ba's making in 1 week even now, that guy can't. Once you've tasted that type of lifestyle, and the woman looks good, he's got no chance.
But Mark, has it got anything to? I don't know the story, but does it have anything to do with money? Has she come out and said, you couldn't fund my lifestyle, or is she just a girl who's like probably a bit hurt?
She hasn't said. She hasn't. No, but
she just needs time. She'll get over it.
If a woman truly, how can I put this now without it sounding stupid? If it was real love, it would take more than what was alleged for her to be acting this way. It
wasn't alleged, that was full.
Whether the man cheated or not, he's 22.
Doesn't matter.
He's 22.
With the kids.
Now listen, he's 22 years old, a rapper with popularity in the social media era. How much 22-year-olds, men, can keep it in their pants with all these women throwing it at them? How many? There's probably 99.9% of men are going to make mistakes.
I don't think you know what happened with him. He actually went out looking for women. Like, he actually embarrassed her. So I feel like in this sort of case, the only reason why I wanted to bring that up is because you mentioned that, like, he knew what he signed up for going out with the Instagram baddie, but she actually hasn't done anything to him besides from the whole child thing. So like,
no, that's a big thing though.
No, that is a big
like, that's not like a small thing, that's like a huge thing.
No, but that is a big thing. But I'm saying that, like, in hindsight, she's a victim also.
No, but the child though.
The child is
one sec, Cyra, the child, listen, the child, this is what happens not just in our community, but it happens in a lot of communities where the child's weaponized. And what I'm saying is, in 20 years, if that child becomes, we just spoke about the Uber driver, if that child becomes a killer in 13 years from now, God forbid he don't, but let's say he does, the first thing you said was the parents. So now we're going to be blaming that dad who we wouldn't have seen that he's been forced out of the child's life now. We wouldn't, a lot of men that we know as well, they can't take that kind of stress. They'll just walk away from the child because they can't deal with the constant fighting and, they can't. So they'll just say, I can't do this to protect my mental health. And I'm saying that is damaging that baby, that poor baby needs his dad.
Okay,
Simple.
another last thing. This is my issue with the whole filming thing, because we've only seen like 30 seconds without context, without anything of what's happened. So we've created this whole scenario that she's keeping her child from her son. We don't know what happened before that camera turned on. So like in the picture, it looks like, in the video, it looks like, oh, he's asking her, holding his child, and she's like, pass me my child. We don't know what happened.
I've got two things to say to what's been said. One, I think Mark's right. You can be a horrible partner, horrible, cheater, even not abusive. I think if you're abusive, then you've got like a right to say like, I don't really want you around the child. But you can be like a cheater, horrible, emotionally void, all of this, but still be a good dad. That's two different things. Being a dad and being a partner is two separate things.
Yep.
But I think, I just drew a blank. Carry on, I'll remember it.
Well, let me come back in then.
Okay.
So, with notes, yeah, I look at this 22-year-old boy and I think back to when I was 22, even though when I was 22, I kind of was on the same level that I'm on now. That's the God's honest truth. However, at 22, you can,
Hold your finger.
you know, if at 22 and you're getting probably $3,000 a show, you know, you're not working a normal 9 to 5, you can probably get out of bed after 12. You probably got a nice little pad you're living in. You're gonna attract. Take away Notes' stature as a rapper and all that. That girl don't look at him. And I just wish men would start to understand that. Like, what would strip me down from this character that I am, this rapper, this, you know, my bank account? Could I attract this woman? If the answer's no, you really got no business being with her.
Yeah.
Because when things go wrong, a woman who truly loves you, she understands you as well. You know, now what I'm trying to say, she's a lot older than him. She don't understand him. She's been married before. See what I'm saying? She's been married to a Premier League at the time. A Premier League, not just a normal man, a man who plays for Chelsea. This ain't no normal thing. He is ill-advised. If that was my little cousin, or I ain't got no little brother, but if it was, I would be like, yo, just go in there and have fun, you know, but put something over the boy. Because when you start bringing kids into it and stuff, these women, the first thing, she's got nothing else she can do to him. You're not seeing your child. Now, we didn't hear that get said, but with me, I pick up on energy. And when I heard her say, take me to court, it sent goose pimples down my body. You know why it sent goose pimples down my body? Because I'm like,
I don't think it's goose pimples, it's goosebumps.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
That's what Americans say.
Yeah, because since she's American and all that. But in my head, I'm like, imagine you trying to take the man's son, and then girls in the comments are genuinely like, yeah, but he cheated.
No,
I'm
that's
like,
wrong.
you're misinformed. So what if he cheated? Like, what I'm saying is, like, a lot of men in his position are going to slip up, you know, and make it. He might have another. A lot of these boys ain't even mature until 25 to 28.
Yeah.
He might have another 5. He shouldn't even. He's got no business being in a relationship at this point, because all what happens is all that toxicness now. The child's seeing all that. Even from now, the woman grabbed the baby. But you know how much toxicness is around that baby?
Yeah.
All that baby wants to do is drink milk and Google Gaga. But instead he's seeing, you know, he's looking at mom shouting, dad shouting. That sticks with him from then. Now, as he grows up now, she probably hates the dad. And when he's in the house, all he's going to hear is, your dad was an idiot. Your dad's a fool. Your dad's this. So
yeah,
now what
wrong.
you do, you're making, you know, you're disrespecting his dad, another man. So in the house now, he loses respect now for other men that look like him. Yeah. It's a vicious cycle. But no, should have known better. He should have never got her pregnant. And I'm not saying she's a lovely girl. She's beautiful. You know, she's probably going to make a great wife to someone. But it ain't going to be Notes.
Yeah.
Like, what from Denver Bar divorced her. You should have stayed with Premier League footballers and all that. Rappers are like, in the UK anyway, are like a very big level down from ballers. Like, the gap's huge. So when people are like, yeah, but Notes is getting money, he's not getting nowhere near as much money as Denver Bar. So when you're talking about a Birkin bag to Denver Bar, that's like going chip shop. See what I mean? At the time anyway. So I'm just saying, Notes, he ain't got no elders around him who's able to say, look, son, know, you're getting a bit of money in your pocket now. Be careful. That's the first talk Daddy ever had with me. The first thing he ever said is, in regards to women is, yeah, it's all good now, but just make sure, you know what you're doing, because if anything goes wrong, you know, it can bring you a lot of stress. And I remember thinking, what's he on about? You know what I mean? But as time went on, that was some of the best advice I ever got.
Yeah.
So, to you, like,
I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, I don't get why people don't understand. Having a baby is a way bigger commitment than getting married. When you get married, you can get divorced, walk away and never see that person again. Even if you don't talk to your child's dad, for generations to come, your bloodlines have been fused together.
Yep.
You have to have a certain level of respect. You can never swear for anyone. Like my mum always says, she doesn't swear for no man, not even her kids, because we'll embarrass her. But
go on.
You can't swear for anyone. So you can't say like, oh no, like I trust this guy implicitly, I'll never ever do this, or this girl would never do this to me, because you can't say what someone's got capable of. But having a baby is a far bigger commitment than getting married. And I feel like people treat having a baby like it's a trend or whatever. Kylie Jenner has a baby.
Seeds, yeah.
Kim has 4 of them. Them kids are there, they're there forever. Even once they're not there, their legacy is there forever. When you look down the bloodlines, when we're all dead and gone, 200 years to come by, there's going to be remnants of us, maybe, if we keep having kids. And it depends who you've had your baby with, so you have to have a certain level of respect for them. And if you don't know someone enough to say, like, you know, I don't know, I just don't feel like people take having kids as serious as it is.
As it should be.
To me, having kids is like, it's a life-altering, life-changing thing.
Truth.
I'm not saying that like 2 parents have to stay together, because if it's toxic, they can't.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out. And I'm not saying that anyone's like I'm not above someone leaving me after having a baby. That's possible. It could be in my future. But what I'm saying is, it's a bigger commitment than marriage. So if I wouldn't say yes to getting married to that person, or if that person wouldn't even dream of getting down on one knee and saying, will you marry me? Like, if that's something they wouldn't do because they were scared if I might take their money, then clearly we're not ready to have kids with each other.
No, hold on though. You know what it is though? It's social media overspill. Yeah. So if, like, a lot of women will look good. I've heard it with my own ears where a man might say, oh, that woman looks good, you know, I'd breed that, you know. You don't even know nothing about her. You don't know if her dad was Jimmy Savile. You don't know nothing. Like, for me, looks is the first thing. The first time you see a person, looks is the first thing. Oh, that person looks good. Me and that person's compatible with looks wise. After that, that's where looks start for me. See what I mean? After that first initial meeting, I need to know parental history, trauma as a child, all of that. And I don't even need to talk to you to know that. I'm just going to know that by getting to know you. See what I mean? So if I'm hearing things that I don't like hearing, at one point I can say, that's why courting's a big thing.
Yeah.
Courting is a big thing, because you need to get to know. You can't just, all this thing where we watch TV and love at first sight and this man's man, none of that's true in the real world. You need to know an individual, and with notes, he didn't do enough homework. And no disrespect to the lady, but he didn't do enough homework on, you know, a lot of men meet women and the woman will be saying, my baby father's a waste man, my baby father's an idiot. You're going to be that baby father eventually.
Yeah.
So how you talk about your baby father to me really shows me how you're going to talk about me.
But I always say that the opposite way around. I always say women who actively go out with men who don't look after their current children and they go be a second baby mother, I say bigger the fool them. Because why would you follow them? Like, you know, he shows you he has the potential not to be a good father. So why would you like take steps behind that? But
some of them think they'll be different though.
There's foolishness. Like, I hate when I hear like women say, "Oh yeah, but he'll change for me. He'll be the."
He doesn't change for anyone.
You can't change no man.
Same with like someone who's like aggressive and like a bad man. He's not just a bad man on the streets. He'll be a bad man with you.
Yeah. He'll stop you up when he's ready. So
you can't keep his temper. He won't keep his temper with you either.
But not enough girls hear that. Like, they don't hear that. Like, it's not cool to be with these type of people.
All they hear is Saweetie talking about Birkins.
Yeah.
You know, even if I had money, I wouldn't. That to me is a waste of money. All you're telling me is you know how to waste money.
Trust me. Yeah.
Nah, but there's trinkets that women, they make you think you want it. Like Apple do it. Apple are like the best at it. What they'll do is they make you think that you want something. They make you think that you need something. Really, you don't need nor want it, but they make you think. Someone said it to me the other day. I was reading on the podcast. I was reading something on my phone. And it's like, you still got a home button. Like, and I'm like, well, like, I bought this phone cash. I'm like, I bought this phone cash. I'm not paying no monthlies on it. I'm like, it works fine. It's like still brand new. But I'm like, I can buy another one today if I want. But why am I upgrading this for no reason? But a lot of people have been conditioned that way, and that's what a lot of them female rappers are teaching young girls. Like, look, if he's not buying you a Birkin, if he's not buying you this, there'll be people that will finance luxury things. You know, they don't even own no home, nothing, but they'll finance luxury things just to say they've got it. Like, so that's the problem. I think that we can't look at these people as role models. Like Sweetie, because I hate saying her name wrong. Sweetie, yeah. You see with her, again, very attractive woman. I think she's been misinformed as well. She said something the other day that made me understand that she comes from wherever she comes from is quite an immature place. So things she says, she don't think it through. But he wanted that. Yeah. So you can't, she done nothing wrong. You wanted that. If a girl said to me what she said, I'm off.
What did she say?
If he's not buying your Birkin, throw him back to the streets.
Throw him back no, but she didn't just say that. She said, if he's not buying you a Birkin and if he's not paying your bills, throw that N back to the streets. Okay, you have to get it right. And then he was in the background and he went like this. Now what I'm saying is, I don't feel sorry for him. You knew what she was about. You knew what she was about. So all these people over analyzing it on the internet and doing all of this. What are you analyzing? Yeah. What? Sometimes I say to myself, that's why I say, I feel like, I was put on ice. I feel like I was born in like 1950 or something and then put on ice for 30 years. Yeah. Because I'm like, that's common sense. If a girl, she told you what she wants, all her songs is about like getting the bag, securing the bag. These N-words ain't ish. Like, I'll be saying, how are you actively out there preaching this message, yeah? And I'm meant to be your man. So that Migos guy, I got no type of... And look, last thing I'm going to say, because I'm passionate about this one. Yeah. She went on that Justin LeBoy show. She goes on the show. She's sitting down and they're talking about threesomes and man had to pay her money and all kind of things. Now, I'm looking I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, she didn't respect you anyway.
Why? Because
soon as you break up, you go onto a show to slander me. The second we break up...
She didn't slander him though, man.
She did. You disrespectful. Like, if
think about getting another man, that was just witty.
She was just joking, but at the same time, you with your ex.
Yeah, that is weird.
If you're with your ex on a show talking about threesomes, money, and you're not making it clear that it's not about me, I'm going to feel very offended. I'm going to feel very offended that you've gone onto a show and said, man had to pay me enough to buy multiple property. You've made it look like I'm the simp.
Do you know what though? I really got annoyed when I seen that, because you know what part got to me? When she said that how does a man say sorry to you? And he said a man transferred enough money to buy multiple properties. Yeah. Now, I was speaking to you about this yesterday. She's basically just put a price on her head. You can disrespect her as much as you want, but if you've got money, like Richard Branson, he could cheat on her, do whatever, but a lot of money, like, you know what I mean? All he has to do is transfer that to her and she's gonna take disrespect. Like, I hate this new generation of like, you can buy a woman.
It's went on in my generation. This is what I say. Annoying. I'm glad you mentioned Richard Branson. I'm glad you mentioned him. Very successful businessman, but they have allegedly, because this is YouTube and gotta be careful, they have like desires, and one of these desires, what he has
Are you going to talk about Naomi Campbell?
Yeah. I don't respect Naomi Campbell. It's a beautiful black woman. But, I've heard the stories of where man's just laid her body out on the table and put food on her body and just had a buffet of the woman. Yeah. Now, what I'm trying to say is, money can buy anything besides health and bring people back from the dead. But mostly anything else. In Dubai, you go to Dubai. I know you have been to Dubai a couple of times, but when I'm in Dubai, it's different from when you go. And I see all these girls on the yachts and, you know, some Arab man who probably a multi-millionaire who's flew them out to do the things that he's not going to ask his wife to do. You see what I mean? Money talks.
What, can I say something?
Go on.
Do you know when it comes to money, and I want to make this clear, when a man has a lot of money, I don't hold value into what he does with that money. But say if somebody like was normal and he brought like a 15 grand watch for me, no, that's stupid, but like a wedding ring, he's saved, really done all of this.
But then he's a bad decision maker.
No, he's a bad decision maker. But I'm saying it in the sense of like, he's made all this money and his, hold on.
Go on, sorry.
Do you want to just stop and crop this bit out?
She can crop it out, go on.
Yeah, one sec. Just so I can formulate my words.
Because you lot was late in it and now Stephen's been out there for a bit.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, say if a man, like, who was my age and he tried really hard and he bought me a MacBook, yeah, I would be like, oh my gosh, he's bought me a MacBook, he's tried. That's a sign of love to me, because he's tried, you know what I mean? But if a millionaire flies me out on a private jet to Cannes Island, that doesn't show love to me.
No, it would show love to me.
No,
it would show love to me, because at the end of the day, what's he supposed to do? Buy you a jet? Like he's doing what he can, and the broke guys not the broke guy, but the normal guys getting you a MacBook, the millionaires flying you out. They're doing what's in their financial lane. But what I will say is, I think we talked about it last time I was on the show. There's too much emphasis placed on, he dropped a bag on me, he bought me this, make him buy this. Like, it's kind of like a prostitution thing going on. But I kind of feel like, I've never heard anyone say this. And I watch all the Kevin Samuels, I watch all the Pink Pill, the Red Pill, all those channels. No one ever says, why don't you look for someone kind?
Yeah.
Someone who you have things in common with. Someone who, you know, you've got the same sense of humour, or he makes you laugh or you make them laugh. Like, too much emphasis is put on what they can do for you financially. Money is important, you know. Money is very, very important, because money can shape the other side of your life. It can make, you know, if you're broke and you're like living on the streets, or if you can't pay your next bill, that's very stressful. That's going to impact your life. But not enough people are talking about, all right, forget about all this high value man, all this big books and all this kind of stuff. Forget about all of that. Can you two sit down and binge watch a Netflix series together?
Yeah.
Does he make you laugh? Is he kind? Is he a nice person? Do you like spending time round him? Do you like, you know, eating the same food? No one ever talks about that side of things. All we ever talk about is, when he's broke, can he buy me a Birkin? I've never once heard Cardi B
say about a Birkin. It's true, you know.
Basically, all I think is too much emphasis on the whole conversation's always framed around, what can a man do for you? Yeah. What can you do for a man? How pretty are you? How can you cook? But I think, and that is important, but no one ever talks about, like, do you gel? Do you get on? Do you know some people you just can't stand to be around?
But do you know what?
You need to be able to stand. Can you stand to be around that person?
People talk about all this, like, high value man, 6-figure man, all this nonsense. In our day-to-day life, people are going out with people who they like. They don't care. Like, I think it's mostly celebrities who are literally looking at women like objects. And men and women are both, like, wrong in the situations, because men think they can just buy women's love, and women think that men can.
But you know, it's a lie in real life.
I know, in real life it doesn't happen.
I think a lot of these girls are lying. No one tells you what they're really up to.
Yeah.
These girls, like, truthfully, Mark, if you got money tomorrow, why would you just waste it all on a woman who you know is using you? All right, Quavo might do it, but we don't know. He could be slow. He might have...
Of course he is slow. Of course, no disrespect to Quavo, because I like the Migos, but this is just a young man who's misinformed, isn't it? He's just misinformed. Quavo's the kind of man who, he just sees visuals, that's it. You know, you get a woman by saying, you so icy, I'm a glacier boy. You pull a woman by saying that. You know what I mean? It tells you everything you need to know. Swahiti, whatever. Swahiti. She done nothing wrong. She done nothing wrong. She done nothing. All this.
She put on the table what she is.
Don't you remember last night I watched Trading Places for like the 100th time?
Yeah.
You remember that woman who, what was his name? Winthorpe or something? Winthorpe, yeah. You remember that? What's that woman's name? That white woman, and she was like hot at the time. Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. She told him what she's about from day one. She said, look, you know, I just get money how I get it. He had to either accept it or move on. He accepted it, and in the end, they look very happy on the boat together. Same with all these girls on Instagram. A lot of them are just out for the money. I'm not saying all, but a lot of them, it's about money. Link in bio. If you got the money, I've seen it. Like, I've been blessed to be around multiple multi-millionaires, and I've seen man just say, fly that in. I've actually seen man look and say, she looks good. You know, what's it going to cost me to get her over here?
But none of them really leave with anything tangible. I know that for a fact. A lot of them, like, it looks online, it makes it seem like they leave with Birkins and Sweetie, she's different. Sweetie's got her own money. Quavo bought Sweetie stuff, but Sweetie bought Quavo stuff. Like, it's not like it was one-sided. No, but no girl, no matter how you contour and whatever, a man who's got all of his faculties isn't going to just waste money on you knowing that you're just using
I wouldn't waste more money, but that's because
I don't think you're a unicorn. No, I don't think Mark's a unicorn. I think most men aren't just going to willingly be used.
I think men know that they're using women because it's an equal exchange.
How can you be using your girlfriend?
No, but I'm saying, no, because a lot of men are with women because she looks good. Like, they provide great sexually. It's all just that side of things, not because she's an actual good woman, if that makes sense. And a lot of women are with men because what they provide them to, men might buy them bags, might do. It's an equal exchange. I look at couples like that more as like a business, like not actual a couple.
It wasn't just that, you know. Swahiti needed. I know I struggle with the name.
Just say Sweetie.
Yeah, it's a horrible name. It's a horrible name.
I like it. Listen to Sweetie. No.
What I'm saying with her is that, okay, yeah, she had a little bit of fame, but she was nowhere near what she's leaving with.
Yeah.
She's leaving with, like, you know, a lot of fame. She's actually probably more hotter than him now.
Yeah, of course.
So in my eyes, it's like mission accomplished. But I don't think she's done nothing wrong. I think men like that, take them for all they got, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Unless
take him for all he's got, man.
They've got unless they've got like a learning disability or something.
No, but all you have to do, look at the past. Mike Tyson used to live like that.
Yeah.
Ian Wright.
Just bigger for Quavo like
to
me.
Yeah, when you live like
it's
that.
It's his money and he's getting spent.
If you're willing to waste your money like that, do you? I feel like people have so much opinions on, like, oh, Quavo could be investing. They waste their money at strip clubs, but the money wasn't my money, so why am I like...
Yeah, exactly.
Now, MC Hammer, you know, with MC Hammer, he's a good guy to listen to, you know, because he said that he literally went from nothing to like $10 million. He had a big entourage, women, everything. And what I'm saying is, they need to look. If you have to study your craft, you got to study your craft. You have to study what game you're in. If you're a rapper, you need to look at those who came before you. So you should be looking at I'm not saying go back to Slick Rick days or something, but go back to like a Fabulous then, and say, even go to a Fabulous or someone like that and say, what was your experience like coming up when you started getting money? What shouldn't I do? What shouldn't I, you know what I mean? All this, like, what these guys doing?
A lot of men's downfall is women. Because we always say, like, look at Superman, the only time he was really knocked off is because of Lois Lane. Like,
that really winds me up.
What are you talking about? When did Lois Lane have nothing to do with
that? Whenever you're watching like a movie with Superman in, he's trying to save the world. He's got a lot on his plate, and he's always wasting his time dealing with Lois Lane's problems. You don't think?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it happens in Flash as well. I've noticed it. The girl is just distracting him. He's saving the world, and she's talking nonsense, and he's there catching her.
Lois Lane, to be fair,
it's true.
I've watched Man of Steel,
and
she is hanging around, but I think Lois Lane helps him. You know what they say, behind every good man's a woman. There's a lot of truth to that, because I think once you've got a good woman on your side, that's one thing out the way. You can focus on other things, but I believe that. So when they say like, every man needs a woman, or I think that I don't think genders were created for no reason.
Yeah,
we need women. As men, we need women, but we have to understand that, you know, you don't just need women for sex. You need women for other things. A woman can really calm a beast down. See what I'm saying? Like, a woman can change your whole life.
But Mark,
see what I'm saying?
When he's saving the world, why is he dealing with her nonsense?
What nonsense?
Next time you watch...
What film?
What? Okay, have you ever watched Flash this season?
I ain't watched Flash.
Have you seen Flash? Steven's seen Flash. Do you know the mixed race girl? Is she not just always distracting him? She's always distracting him from saving the world. He has to go and explain nonsense to her.
She tells him how to save the world.
But yeah,
no supercar. She'll be like, run at Mach 17. How do you know that? What can you do, fam? You're a super nerd, fam.
Yeah, it's
I'm just saying that these women ain't done nothing wrong. Notes, you knew what you were getting into. Quavo, you knew what you're getting into.
Quavo,
Quavers, whatever his name is. You knew what you were getting into. Who was the other person?
Chet Hanks.
You want the black experience?
No, let's not.
Black experience.
Wait. Let me say. You want the black experience, yeah? I'm not lying. That's part of the black experience.
No, that's a lie.
No, it is.
I would never put my hand on that.
I'm not getting stabbed.
I don't know about none of that, but that loud
actor.
No, a lot of women do that, but I'm saying you want to be part of the black experience. You're gonna deal with friends. A lot of black girls, they stick together in it. The friendships. So you see how the friend was saying, I didn't see nothing. You know what I mean? You want to be black. You want to be a yard man. Be that then. Your dad's Tom Hanks, yeah. You should have done like your big brother and been. You see, if Tom Hanks is my dad, I'm saying to Tom Hanks, Dad, I want to be an actor like you, like the older son did. All this trying to get into hip hop. Your dad's Tom Hanks.
But that's what he's passionate about.
No, you're never gonna blow as a rapper.
Yeah,
It
but
don't
that's
matter
his
what you
passion.
sing. Trent is never gonna blow as a rapper. Do acting. You've been blessed.
Has he been in any film?
You see the kids that I got a lot of respect for, and I've said it time and time again. You see David Beckham's kids.
Yeah.
They are a example. They've all gone to their dad. Dad, I want to do this. You know what Beckham does? He picks up the phone and he makes it happen. That's what Tom Hanks' son's blessed with. But instead, you want to be a clown. That's why Tom's other son is already gone clear, killing it. That's the one who was in Jumanji. And then you're just on the internet talking back with him and stuff and trying to be funny.
Yeah, but that's him. That's his personality. He's
that's
his
not the black experience.
Exactly. And you're making out like the black experience is trauma. Like you're gonna have to deal with women stabbing you. Or
No. I didn't say about nothing getting stabbed. I'm saying that he's gonna have to deal with, friends or family. I'm not saying that all black women are loud, but that is part of the makeup. It is.
The last thing I want to say
what
do you think about when Adrian Broner came out and said that's how he likes his women? Like,
but that's good for him. He
feels like that's what true love is. Like,
yeah, but
if you don't
who cares about what Adrian Broner thinks?
Who's Adrian Broner?
Adrian Broner.
I don't even know who he is.
Adrian Broner is the biggest flop in the last 10 years. You know Adrian Broner, he was set to be the next mayor ever. He ain't got the talent, but he was set to be the next. All he had to do is focus on boxing.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Look at him now, he's broke. So in my head, I can't listen to Broner. Plus he's done. He's done as a boxer. I can't listen to Broner. Whatever he's got to say is irrelevant to me. Whereas Tom Hanks' son, your dad's Tom Hanks. Look at Denzel Washington's son. All right, they look like they don't get on, but Denzel still put him in a career. You think them directors are hiring him for Tenet if your dad ain't Denzel Washington?
No, I don't know.
No. It's not that. He's a good actor. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
To have Denzel Washington's son, who's going to be at the premiere supporting? No. Wait there. If you hire Denzel Washington's son, when the film's released, who's coming to the premiere?
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
Of course it makes sense. But I feel like you might be undervaluing their actual talent, saying it's just because of their
No, they can still be talented. Like, do you know how Northwest drew that picture? Like that really beautiful picture. She done a great job.
She done a lovely job.
But you can't that Denzel Washington's son would have been in acting classes from the time he could talk. He's had advantages over like a regular actor.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but that's not to take away. He's still worked hard and he's still a good actor.
He's talented, Cyra, but even
he's been given advantages. But
let's go back to Beckham's kids. I think it was Brooklyn. Brooklyn, the first one. All right, Brooklyn. He's a photographer. and he does BMW's car pictures for their showroom. And when they were unveiling the i8, I was there. Yeah. When they were unveiling the i8, he was the photographer for that. Now you mean to tell me that he was the only photographer they could find? There's a stigma attached to Beckham's son. BMW don't need. They've probably got the photographer who's been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
But they've gave Brooklyn Beckham the job. So when they was unveiling it, all you kept seeing is new i8 photos by Brooklyn Beckham. New i8 photos by Brooklyn Beckham. Everything was Brooklyn Beckham. I don't know the photographer's name of the 5 Series. Yeah. I don't know the photographer's name of the 1 Series. But I know the photographer's name of the i8. Now that goes back to my point. When your dad is someone like Tom Hanks, he is actually acting royalty. Yeah. Why would you? I mean, it makes sense. I'm saying if you want to be a rapper, do that on the side. You call into acting. It's simple.
I just like what I said when it like that's lifestyle's normal to him acting. So doing what he's doing now is a form of like adventure to him, I think, because of course the easy way is to go through acting. Like Jaden Smith, if he really put his head down, he's a good actor. I watched Karate Kid the other day, a great actor, but no, he wants to be different, like in his like lane.
Because I know that. If you're speaking about it with our community, a lot of the time we would get a man would probably try and insult you for getting put in position by your parents. Yeah. In our community, a man would say things like, if it wasn't for his dad. But in the white world, that don't exist. So what I'm saying with Tom Hanks' son is, I think Tom Hanks is embarrassed of him. You don't see Tom Hanks in no pictures with him. You don't see Tom Hanks and the other son are like this. But Chet, you don't never see Tom with Chet. You don't see. He don't post no pictures of Tom. Tom don't post no pictures of him. When you see what I mean, they just don't. I think they look and say, "Look at this man. We worked our whole life. We've made all this money. We got this kid here going online talking about he wants to be a Jamaican. What's wrong with him, man? Probably the wife said, I'll just forget about it. No. But they pay his rent. They look after him because the man's not living like that from his own dollar. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Which to me that don't bother me. That don't make no difference to me. But I'm saying, even if Tom Hanks was my next door neighbour, never mind my dad. I'm tapping in. I'm gonna knock the door and say, Tom, is there a little position you can put me in? You know what I mean? It's who you know. Whereas he wants to be online talking about baddies and the foolishness he's talking about. Tom is now, I think the heir is the older son, the one that was in Jumanji.
I think he's obsessed with like black culture. But yeah.
But you see where that got him? He got his head boss.
I know.
But the woman. Yeah, the woman. Let me say this, Mark. It's not the black experience.
Yeah, that's not
just
the black
stop
experience.
That because black is not a monolith. We're all different. There's loud black women, but there's also black women that are quiet as a mouse, like a church mouse, and we know them as well.
But he's after he wants like yard,
So it's the yard black.
What did he say? Me want them tick. Yeah. What did he say? Me want them tick. Yeah. So that's what he said. So go on, get them, man.
But yeah, so it's that experience, but it's not. You can't tie that to blackness.
Yeah, don't say like, you want the black experience, go have it. Like that's what black men go through on a regular.
Because it's not.
It's like,
a lie.
There's a few mad white women as well. Like
listen, I'm just saying the man is not. You see, like Tom Hanks's wife, which is Chet's mom. When have you ever seen them involved in any scandal, or when have you ever seen that mom involved in any stand-up? The older brother, who's a multimillionaire in his own right. When have you ever seen his wife? Do we even know who his wife is?
No, but some men like crazy women.
No, but what I'm saying is he wants to live. He wants to be an African American. He's obsessed with that, and I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. It must be flattering to the African Americans that the influence is that strong on a man like that who grew up with a diamond spoon. And I don't even like using that word. You grew up with a spoon, but a diamond spoon. When he was born, probably Forrest Gump didn't even come out yet. But his dad just been doing nothing but blockbuster after blockbuster. He's a legend. And this man decides to be a rapper.
I don't know what the Jamaican thing's about. That's weird. I think it's just strange.
I think he got into bashment. Because I was watching one of his lives and he was playing all that cartel and all that. Like, he's an idiot, man.
Jamaica, the culture, it's a cool culture. Like, I understand it. And when you're so far from it, you become like intrigued. So that I feel like that's all it is. It's a phase, and he clearly likes black women, but I wouldn't be surprised if he like stays with her. Like,
He's trying to sue her.
oh, is he?
Yeah, he's trying to sue the girl.
Has she got money?
I doubt it, but he's trying to sue her. Not no disrespect to the sister or whatever, but I think he's got money, and he's saying she stole from him, and it's a big thing. He's just making all what he's keeping up is just disrespectful to Tom in my eyes. If I was Tom,
his legacy.
If I was Tom, I'm fixing him up quick.
Yeah,
because
but there's little he can do. Mark is a big man.
No,
now.
but if I was Tom, I'd just, you see, like our Morpheus.
Never watched Matrix.
Morpheus, man. See, man. Lawrence Fishburne, yeah. His daughter wanted to be like Kim Kardashian. So
she made a sex tape.
She made a sex tape. You see what he did? He just cut her off.
That's not right, though.
That's what I'm doing. No, listen. If I've set your life up, yeah, where your dad's Lawrence Fishburne getting blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster, and you want to make a sex tape, that's it. You're finished, right? You can't format my phone. That's it. It's
so
over.
funny.
It's all. And look what happened to her. She ended up trying to kill us. Now she's turned big Christian. And see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but she tried to disrespect his name. And her name, she got the same name as my daughter, Montana Fishburne. Her name is.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, Lawrence Fishburne was coming out of a restaurant. He's coming out of this restaurant now, and the paparazzi ran up and they're like, "What do you think about your daughter?" And the embarrassment on his face, I felt it for him, man. I was like, imagine the man's all the hours on set, you know, all of that long, you know, all of that. This is a man who's squeaky clean, you know. His image is clean.
Now
and your daughter comes. Yeah, but you just play the role. Then your daughter comes along with a slackness and nah, man, you cut off, man.
No, that's
no.
I
You
don't
cut
feel
off,
like
man.
He love should
Everyone has sex. Everybody has sex. We know that. However, you're doing it on camera and disrespecting my name. Nah, it's over.
No, you can't. Like,
nah, it's over. I'm actually taking my name back.
No,
can you divorce children?
No, you can't. You can't. Call it. Didn't he divorce his parents?
I know we call it coaching, but I'm saying
parental responsibility.
What she tried to do to Lawrence Fishburne, I didn't respect it because there's certain actors that, you know, Forrest Whitaker, Lawrence Fishburne, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Wesley. All right, we can't put Wesley in just yet, but Wesley's a legend. But I'm saying these guys are squeaky clean.
Yeah.
These guys have actively tried to keep their image clean. Lawrence Fishburne said he was giving this girl so much money every month. It's not like it's a girl who just never had no dad on. He was sending her so much money, looking at college. She could have been anything she wants to be in the world. She could have literally got up out of bed and said, I want to be a brain surgeon. He's going to put you on the right path. But instead, you want to sit down in people's... you know what I mean, and make a sex tape.
Somebody does like, that job, innit?
But Mark, what you're trying to say is he gave her all the opportunities in life, loved her like a good dad would, was there for her, cared for her, done all this stuff. Then why was she making?
You know what she said? You know what she said?
What?
You know what she said?
What?
She said Kim Kardashian made a sex tape and that catapulted her career. I want to be like Kim Kardashian.
But doesn't that say something about how comes he was doing all these things?
No, you're trying to blame Lawrence.
I'm not blaming him. But you're saying I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
That's what it sounds like to me.
If he put in all this work to make sure she was this shining example of a girl and all this kind of stuff, why did she go left then?
Left. I'm divorcing
you just swore blind that you said don't even touch wood. Harlem's never gonna carry drugs anywhere. So that means you've got certainty in your skills as a parent. So clearly he wasn't that.
I ain't blaming Lawrence Fishburne. No way.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying.
The man's putting in so much. The man's dedicated his life to his craft, looks after his kids, and that's how she repays him. So in my head,
it's not a direct disrespect.
Of course, it's a disrespect. If I got my daughter,
it is disrespectful.
I like the fact that she was willing to do that.
Yeah,
like,
but let's not.
The thing is, people are still people. I know that you're attached to your parents, but like, she's made a bad decision. Why is it his business?
No, but it's her decision to make.
Exactly.
Like, you're calling it a bad decision, but maybe that's not, in the world of California and stuff, it's not that bad of a decision to make. They all do it. So I don't know, like, she never killed no one or everything. It's wrong. Like, I'm not...
No.
I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying I don't think he should cut her off and all this kind of stuff.
No.
Your parents should love you What's it called? Agape love. Your parents love you unconditionally.
Oh, I know we have to wrap up.
What's the point?
Ask a question.
We need to wrap it up, but before you do that, I'm just saying this. There's no way Lawrence has gone through all of that hard work, yeah? You know, he's got other kids that have gone on to do whatever it is in their respective fields. But you, my little girl, you know, your little girl who's meant to be the apple of your eye, grows up and goes to do a sex tape and uses your name. So the sex tape says Montana Fishberg.
Oh no.
And she done interviews and stuff. Oh yeah, my dad. Oh, what's your dad like? Yeah, this and that. I felt embarrassed. I had never met Lawrence Fishberg a day in my life, but I felt it for him. And you know, he never made one comment. He just cut her off completely. She can't even get through to the man. And I looked at her and I said, you know what? Fair play to him, because you know what? These little girls need to learn, and disrespect is something that I can't deal with. But all right, go on, get to your question, because come on, man, you're hard up the show.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, so would you cut like a family member off if they became a porn star?
So are you saying if you become a cut you off?
Just for conversation. You'll just cut me off.
Make a porn, and that's it. GenZ's getting filmed elsewhere, mate. Because you not only bring embarrassment to me, you're bringing embarrassment to daddy and mommy and everyone else. I can't take embarrassment. And you didn't grow up like that. You never grew up. You're meant to go out there and do what, you know, you're on your way anyway, but you follow your bigger sisters.
What about if it was malicious, like revenge porn?
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's it.
Because I understand that, you know, a lot of these kids, they film all these little encounters and that. What I would say to women out there is just don't make him film your face. That's it. But matter of fact, you shouldn't be filming anyway. No, you shouldn't be filming anyway. You shouldn't be filming yourself anyway, but it does happen. Revenge porn is
a
prisonable offence. Is that the correct?
As it
you can go to prison for it. Yeah.
But
okay,
let's wrap up. Let's get to message 2. This is the last segment of the show where we have a message to a person or organisation, a thing, positive or negative. So who wants to kick it off?
Go on, you go first.
Okay, so mine's really quick. My message 2 responds to the first topic that we did about my cat. If you've got an animal, cat, dog, stop what you're doing, switch off this show and make sure that the microchipping details are up to date. Because had I have done that before the whole palaver, it would have saved me a lot of headache. My cat was microchipped, but I just kind of forgot about it and I never updated the details. So that would be my message too. If you have an animal that you care about, stop what you're doing and check the microchipping details.
Lovely.
Me, you know, yeah. My message too is to all of the petrol stations across the UK. We're in a pandemic. Coronavirus, how much people's died, what they're saying. And every time I go to a petrol station, there's never no plastic gloves in the thing. So I'm always using my hand to touch up the people, them dirty thing. And sometimes I ain't even got no hand sanitizer. And people are nasty and dirty out there. They need to start putting gloves inside the petrol stations. I'm on about, you know, when you're filling up your car?
Yeah.
We need plastic gloves. We need them. That's my message to you.
Put a box of plastic gloves in your car, Mark.
Yeah.
People can say that, but I'm going to somewhere that they're meant to be providing me a service.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't tell me to bring my own cutlery to a restaurant, would you? Yeah,
it's
the same thing.
Yeah, but if you thought that other people were dirty and their mouth was on there
They're
and
nasty.
stuff.
Enough people are nasty.
Well, then if someone
when I go to a restaurant, I used to
vinegar.
No, I would always ask for a cup of boiling water.
And then
you ever see me do it? And then I would get the cutlery and pull it in the boiling water.
That's a good idea.
So the water's I would say, can I have a boiling cup of water, please? And when they come with it, I'd say, yeah, just sit it right there. Thank you.
I'm like that.
And then I'd just get my cutlery.
In that accent as well.
Yeah. Then I get my cutlery and I sit it in the boiling water. Whatever germs on that's dead long time.
Yeah.
So that's my message to you.
Yeah, my message too is quite simple as well. It's just to all these Instagram businesses, especially like hairdressers, nail techs, but just put a booking link in your bio. I'm over going back and forth in the DMs and still waiting on this hair appointment that I still haven't booked because I'm busy, she's busy. So yeah, a booking link would solve this issue greatly. So that was my message too. Now, anybody got socials to plug? Well, I know you don't. Mark?
Just follow the Express Truth Show at Express Truth Show. Subscribe to the Express Truth Show podcast. And that's it, man.
Yeah. And
how do you know I haven't got anything to plug?
Because you ain't got no social media.
We've got No, I'm joking. You got that out. Go on, you go. I'm joking. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, so just as normal, really everybody follow my website www.danikatamsin.com to catch up on what my week was like. I actually vlogged this week and it's up on my website now. So yeah, follow my website, all my social medias at Danica Tamsin, and the GenZ social media at the GenZ_. So that is absolutely everything. See you like next week. Bye.